I talk to a spirit. She comes in my dreams.
What is the path to awakening supposed to look like, to feel like? How do you know if you are on it? We ask these very sacred and sometimes vulnerable questions to many different women from all walks of life. A conversation that needs to be shared and heard. I'm Jo Hendy.
I'm Amanda Parker.
And welcome to the Girl Awakening podcast. Good morning, Amanda.
Oh, good. I love the way you sing that. It's like it just starts to la 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 la. And well, it is that. It's a dawning of a bit of joy.
It is. It is. And we're going into a new phase, which I like, which was we're getting some return guests, but it's almost like they're not a return guest because we're getting them from a new point of view, a new viewpoint.
And they've been in our circle the whole time because, we always, and once we connect, there's this resonancy, then we sort of circle, satellite around each other and things. So there's a familiarity, yet there's so much change.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we both know too, we've been on our own personal journey. And just from a few words that this beautiful lady has mentioned this morning, and you just go bing, 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 bing. It's like we're all in it together. We are all completely connected. Yeah. And we are all going through very, very, very similar timelines and
in our own paths, wherever that ground is, it's still the same but different. As actually my son's favourite T-shirt, same but different.
Yeah. Love that. So let's welcome Melissa Kendall back to the podcast from the Fine Flow.
Thank you for having me.
Yay! So good to be back.
Oh no, it feels so perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for making the time and coming in and bringing your joy.
Yes again.
That was the easy part. That is always the easy part.
So beautiful.
Now, will you just share with us too, just some little waves of, different feelings that were coming up about coming back on? And I loved how you said I just had to tune in with myself a few times.
Yes.
Because that's very important right now in this space that we're living in, isn't it?
Yes. It's probably my greatest gift of the last year is learning to not distort my own frequency with my self-concept, so my ego.
And when you say that, because I'm probably going to stop you a lot because our listeners, this will be so important for our listeners to understand where we're going and what we're talking about. So when you say ego or self-concept, we're talking about thoughts, aren't we? Kind of.
And all the things that you've made important about yourself, good or bad, that you've masked up with, and they are also the good things.
Absolutely. So we're looking at like patterns and beliefs and systems and all of those things that we've used to allow ourselves to get through life.
To protect yourself, which you don't need to do one bit.
Well,
that's what when you come back to peace, when you are peace, that is quote unquote the protection. Because your field,
the illusion of protection.
Because your field becomes like a rainforest and it breathes, and so anything bad is an illusion, so it's not real anymore.
My heart's already just expanding so much,
and it doesn't come in because it's only your thought that makes it real. Because you're so powerful because you forgot. You forgot how powerful you were.
Oh, and look, you saying it, it's so simple. It feels so simple when you're saying it like that. So simple. It is so simple, but we complicate it, don't we?
Don't we? Thoughts, what you said before. Thoughts.
Do you want to share a little bit around that, like your journey through this process?
So I came on last time.
Yes.
And it was so beautiful to witness myself in that unfolding of everything that was before. And then as I was sharing just before we came on that, I then got invited to join Scott Robinson, the Brain Guy's A Course in Freedom. And when I read a little bit about what it was going to be, it's basically taking you to the truest version of yourself, which is enlightenment. But just in a more grounded sense, you could say the true self, which is all the parts of you with no ego or self-concept attached. It's just you and your eternal essence and who you were meant to be. So it's like remembering that you're eternal. And it's just been the most beautiful unfolding because it's all the realizations of even that one mask of when I came last time of I was always seeking salvation outside myself. Every minute. And all those beautiful women I spoke about, I was just looking at them, seeking myself in them rather than seeing me.
Sorry, she just said seeking salvation, and I'm like, write that down.
I thought that's what you were just processing.
Did you get that?
That's such a beautiful line right there, seeking salvation. Because I think for us women, mothers, we're constantly seeking that salvation or validation or acknowledgement or to
praise,
just to be
or
seen,
just to be loved.
Recognition.
And if you get right down to it, it's just because you want to be loved.
Yeah.
You've forgotten that you are loved, and therefore you're seeking it outside. So it's been a remembrance, I would say. And the unfolding of it is when you work with the brain guy, his frequency of peace holds the container, if you want to use a common word, steady in his ability to help you, because he works with the brain to remove all of those thoughts and beliefs in chunks. So you can kind of explain it like a balloon. So say, for example, the more we learn to have faith in truth, the more you remember, the more all of the ego and self-concept dissolves in, like, blows up in this balloon, this faith, and then all of a sudden it just goes pop, and like 100 or 200 or 300 or 4,000 beliefs will just collapse
because they're not true.
They're not true.
Because now you're resonating in the resonance of truth,
in peace.
Well, yes.
Wow,
that
this
makes
is
sense.
taking things down to a very core level, and
So simple.
in a way that just your body, my body is feeling it, and
It's,
hearing you share that.
Truth is just simple.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the way that you can work out whether a healing modality is going to resonate with you, is because the more complicated it is, the more wrapped up in the ego and self-concept it will be.
Well, and that's a lot around, I'm going to go there.
We can.
Education systems. Universities, stuff like that. Unless you want to go and learn to be something that's very technical, like a doctor, where you have to, truth is not going to get you through, doing something like that. Like I understand why
there's a place
for them.
Yeah.
But
even in the way that they're delivered sometimes is limiting, as opposed to the potential of what it truly can be.
Yeah. But some of us can even go down this path of awakening, where we're reading every book, we're doing every course, where we're filling kind of ourselves up with knowledge and information that's probably not needed if we literally just found someone that was going to hold a space for truth.
For you. Hold space for you. Yeah. Because you never know the truth, in inverted commas, because you couldn't.
Yes.
Because as a human, we only hold this beautiful aspect of 1/1000th of the pieces of the puzzle. Yeah. So imagine we've got this 1 billion piece puzzle. And we've got this tiny slither bandwidth that we can see, and so that's why when you were sharing about t-shirts before, I'm like, we all need t-shirts of the unknown is the best place in the universe. Because once you become safe in the unknown, and then that was my other deepest unfolding, was I always wanted a plan, I always wanted to know, I always needed to make meaning in every single thing. And I was so addicted to my own thoughts. I just didn't realise how addicted to my own thoughts they were. And I thought that, like you've shared, Jo, just the more I needed to know, the more I needed to read. Whereas now I'm like, remembered I'm limitless. And so then your limitless learning is available. So all you need to do is just get in touch with yourself, and then all the knowledge in the universe that's specific to you and your essence and your fingerprint and your resonance, you'll need to know.
It would blow your way.
Yes, literally my head is just like
it's like
popping open.
I'm just thinking about so many people out there that think they're stupid or dumb, or I can't get it because I'm this or that.
You don't need any of that.
No.
And when you were sharing about the doctors, so for example, if they tapped into their own limitlessness and knew from a very early age that they might like to be a surgeon.
Yes.
If they were tapped into their true self, they could literally use their intuition to put their hand on a book and know that they only needed to study page 174 and 944 from that book. Because that was what was going to take them to their true essence of self in joy. And so the learning becomes a lot more simple as well.
And the learning is the true essence and joy, literally, as you just shared that. And it becomes so easy to learn when you're in your true essence and joy.
It does, because I have dyslexia. and I also can't read that well.
Yep.
Just because I can actually physically read it, but I can't comprehend it. And then I read like a paragraph and then another paragraph.
Yes.
It's like, what am I even reading?
And how many people fall asleep when they're reading a textbook?
Exactly.
You know, like their brain, you know, and there's a thing about posture and this and the oxygen to the brain, and there's all of those things that, but literally the brain just kind of like phases out, you know, doesn't it? Like
It doesn't
it's
want to reading
know.
something that's not your true self.
Why are we learning this shit?
It's not of my essence. Hang on.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's been beautiful too, because then I kind of gave up listening to a whole lot of things that I just didn't need to know. And as I shared when I was on last time, I've always had this knowing that I didn't need to go and learn anything. I didn't need to have a certificate for anything. And before I did this limitless learning, it was more like I was trying to push back on everything and say, well, I don't have to do that, and that's like, whereas now I know that there's no need for that either, because there's no right or wrong, and when you're in resistance, you're just in your own way.
So how do you know that? Like what are the signs? Does your body tell you? Is it just a feeling? How can you, I mean, this is a great one. I mean, and I know we're all individuals, so we all feel it in different ways. Yeah. How do you know that something's right from wrong? What are some of the signs for you?
The best thing to come to peace in yourself is that there is no right and wrong. There only is just what is. Yeah. And when we have no judgments and no decisions around anything at all, then there becomes no right and wrong, because there is no influence from the past and no influence from the future, and then you're truly now. And the
so
only time that you can be present is now. And so that's been probably the deepest practice of the year that I've done since going on, was coming to the now. Because that I would put my hand up and saying that my thoughts and addiction to thoughts, I would put my hand up and say that I'm probably one of the hardest people I had to get around myself from the course. There was about 3 of us that were just, our egos would go from suspicious to vicious. Just
love
like
that.
Excuse me. Excuse me, you've been this person for all of this time.
Yes.
And we don't think that it's going to be great for you to go to your true self.
Yes.
So here's a whole lot of things to think about and try and go back into and believe what you're perceiving. And so that was just the most beautiful thing. So once you actually, you learn, so in the course you learn to know when that's going to happen, when you can feel it, what you were saying. So you can feel, because you become, because peace is the guide to truth. So if you don't feel peaceful within, so however that is for you, so like your mind's calm, your body's calm, your field feels calm, or because everybody's senses perceptions are different, so however that feels to you to come to peace. So for me, it's like this overwhelming sense of when you get out of a hot shower, you know, that like and then I just know that I'm on the path. So any other thing is just a distraction. Then I just need to get to center. And then you learn that there's no duality either, because there's never going to be that in oneness. And so once you get to that point of only seeing the present moment, you come into the resonance of love. Love and peace continually. It's just your field collapses, as Passar says. You know, your field. It's not that you're not magnetizing anything, it's that you've just got all your stuff in the way. Like, stop blocking it. So it's just so peaceful.
And even you saying and talking about it, like it feels really peaceful and it feels really beautiful. But I'm also getting, when I think of me,
getting around yourself.
Getting around myself, because I'm hearing what you're saying, and you know, and we our identity is so powerful in there. You know, because my husband always says, well, the truth will set you free.
It does. That's
right?
exactly
And he's
true.
always had that motto. And I can be pissed off about something, and he'll, do you feel better after saying that? He'll say to me, and I'm like, you know, well, the truth won't set you free, so it can't be the truth, right? And then for some reason, it's like I get it caught. It's almost like caught in this corner where I'm like, so then now I'm realizing that it's now about control. Okay, Joe, you're just wanting to hold on to control here. You know,
because you don't feel safe.
It's wild.
It is.
There's so many ways we don't feel safe, isn't it?
And that's why with this work you become free really quick. Because you don't realise the healing task that you've been set up with as when you came in and when you wrote your soul contract. Like, it is massive. Like, you've got from the awareness that I was in a year ago to now, like, if I could fill up a 153 page book, every single line, and that wouldn't even cut what I've healed, and that's on my own. Like I haven't had to use anyone outside of myself anymore either. I can just use me.
God, that must feel good.
Oh my God, it feels so good. And it's not that I do believe that we can't get into heaven alone. That's what we're all here for, to help each other. And I do have blind spots, and I have got stuck. So I have had to ask for help.
Of course.
But 95% of the time, I can just do it myself.
And when you're asking for help, do you feel like there's, I'll say, better discernment, or, you know...
There was resistance that I was failing at the start. So when I first started to heal myself, I was like, no, I can do that. Of course I can do that. And then when I started to really understand heaven on earth, that's what we're here to restore.
Yes.
And not heaven in the Bible sense, heaven as in, you know, every place feels like peace. Whether it's a beautiful city bustling with trams and all people, it doesn't matter where you go, you're the peace. And so once your heart gets peaceful, it's further and further and further of your field can hold a certain number of people and bring them to peace. And that's what the world needs. So we need 8,600 people to be enlightened, and then the world is healed. So it's actually not
That's not a lot of people.
It's not a lot of people.
When you think
right
about
now we
it.
have about 700 enlightened people in the world who are holding space. One of those, which is Scott, the brain guy. So he's probably holding the resonance of Australia. He's so peaceful. I have no idea what that's actually true or not. But, and I know now when I go into places, because we learn to practice with our power. So you learn to come online with your own personal power, but not from that, you know, place of pushing or force or efforting. It's just this simplicity of, you know, play with it. So it's just fun, like watching a room just come to love. You know, walking into a really chaotic place, and then just what you were sharing before, just ask for the universe to show you what's better. And there it is. The kids sit down, the mums start talking.
The power of energy, hey?
That's the And when you are reaching for help, when you do allow, the energy.
That's wild, yes.
And then the next one around your joy. Streaming in. Joe pulled this amazing card about energy this morning.
So wild, you're just talking about that, which is, you know, exactly what we're talking about, the power of space holding, which is energy. It's just holding energy in a positive space. Which allows others to feel their own stuff, basically, or their own space as well.
It brings them to like calm. You know, it's like, and probably 95% of people would not realise that consciously. It would just be their subconscious that's gone, oh, something feels different in here, or oh, that was interesting talking to her, or you know, they got no idea.
I said things I didn't think I would say.
So that's been really beautiful, because before I would have been seeking salvation outside myself, and I would have put all my energy into, it's because I had a crystal on. Or it's because I did this beautiful painting that's got all this energy and I brought it with me.
Or putting it outside of yourself.
Totally.
Oh, even externalising what
and
made something
protection,
possible.
using everything to protect myself, like sprays and clearing sprays and all the things. But now I don't. And I'm not saying that that's wrong, and that will absolutely serve its purpose until you get to a point where you realise that you don't need to seek outside yourself, and that once you become this beautiful embodied love, you don't need anything, because there's nothing to protect yourself from, because nothing that's a lower level feeling is real. It's the illusion, you know, that and you're free then, because you don't need any of that to live here on earth, because you don't need the duality.
And exactly what you're sharing around the crystals, or you know, the externalizing, or the protection sprays. Like if you are enjoying a crystal or you're enjoying a spray, you know,
do it from joy.
Do it from joy, because the energy, the intention, the need of the tool is different. It's like having a glass of wine or a coffee or those things. It's like it's in joy, not because I need to escape and Jesus, I've had a bad day today, or you know, give me a bottle.
And that's where I was coming from. Like escape all the time. Escape. The ego loves a good escape.
You know
that if you've got any essence of escape, you're in your ego.
It's so true. And it can be very subtle too. I'll just watch this show. I've got half an hour for it. I'm just going to sit down and watch this. I wanted to talk
about. That's a powerful freedom technique in itself, to recognise your associations with what your choices are, what's behind the choice.
Nelson Mandela has that beautiful speech. It's not our I'm really bad. It's not our darkness that we're afraid of, it's our light.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that came up a lot for me.
Yeah.
So it's a huge thing in humanity.
Yeah.
Which the ego suppresses.
Yes.
Because you're trying to fit in and you're trying to be, and you've got to get money, and you've got to do this, and you've got to do that, and you've got to rush, and you've got to be in time. And I've also collapsed time.
Yeah.
So I've also collapsed the body not being real. So
which is all avoidance, isn't it?
it's all avoidance.
Yeah.
It's all distraction.
Yeah.
And and that's why when you can do it from a level of someone holding a frequency for you that lets you let go of so many things at once.
Yeah.
It's like you can't explain it from a level of anything, because there's only more. Like once we've got to this love, like I'll be in a meditation with a group that's done it, and you'll just feel this love like you've never felt before. It's like literally a wave hitting you, the hardest wave you've ever felt, and then this love just goes boom at you, and then you think, how could it be any more?
Yeah.
There's more. You go, it just keeps coming. You just can't believe it. It's just like, how is this even possible?
Yeah.
You know, and it's just so, I don't know how to...
It's like when you have your first child, you can't imagine when you're having a second child that you can love anymore, but of course you do. The heart keeps expanding, and there's differentness in each of your children and the experiences that you have, and I imagine allowing that openness within yourself and the clarity of the space. There is that wave, as you say, just ready to rush in and envelope you. And there's so many lessons coming here with you. There'll be a lesson in every single person, but what you've got to get yourself to is a lesson that the person is a gift wrapped in a beautiful packaging. Yes.
You don't need to learn from fear.
Yeah.
You don't need to learn from the hard way. You don't need to continue to suffer to learn. You don't need to learn in pain. And so many people attach value to that, especially lots of really big wig podcasts, and especially in that male tonings where it's just, well, if you don't feel pain, how are you going to force anything? How are you going to, you know?
Yeah.
And when we come from
what are you really achieving?
Yeah. Well, when you sit back and you just come to this, and I've had women say to me, so you reckon that love is just going to fix everything? And they literally think I'm delusional.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm living, walking proof
Yeah.
that love heals everything, and it is the known greatest healer to all of humanity.
Yeah.
But they literally just look at me like, I'm just like, it's okay. It's just from the level of awareness that you're at right now.
Yep.
That's feeling very challenging, and because your self-concept is in the way,
Yeah.
you can't perceive that.
Yes.
Because that would be far too reaching from what
Yes.
you currently believe.
Yes.
And so your universe is never going to help you heal in a way that makes you wake up and feel jarred in love. You're going to be able to let all those little pieces go until it feels resonant for you to allow more in. And that's what happened to me, because I was so afraid. And not that it was my mum's fault, but when I was 3, I just made her the most scariest person in the world. And so the person that you're supposed to love the most, I had made her really scary. And it was from one simple thing, like because once you've got your own intuition, you can get exactly what it was. And she'd heard on the radio, this is back in the 80s, that to help discipline your children, you should lock them in the toilet until they do as they're told.
Oh,
And Mum did it. She just did what they said, and it worked. She put me in the toilet,
and you're petrified, and you just
she locked me and then shut me away from everything, and that was it. You are bad and scary.
And then you get toilet problems and digestion problems. And
I did, yes,
you know.
but it was
like,
So then what happens is that one belief locks itself into the brainstem, and every thought then perpetuates from that, and then that is how you perceive the world, because the only way that you know the world is from your perception, and you've made your perception so real that that's the only thing you believe. So once you can use your perception to walk through the world gently and not believe anything that you're seeing, because you know that the unknown is far more certain than this emotions that I'm feeling or seeing, because they're not stable. That's not a stable condition. Love, peace, joy, freedom and abundance are all stable, continuing, flowing conditions. And once you're in those, everything else just falls away effortlessly.
And that's the trap. That's the trap, is because people believe that their existence or who they've been or their patterning is who they are. That they identify with. So that's the trap. So anyone listening now and hearing this about the love, you know, it's okay. There's no right or wrong here.
Not.
And Melissa's on her own journey, like we talked at the start. and everybody is at their own pace, you know. Like I'm completely getting where you're going, what you're talking about. I'm not there, but I completely understand what you're saying, and I can feel in myself the areas that, absolutely, the entrapment and the awareness in there, and the lots of different things. I think it's really amazing, and I believe in, you know, what you're saying and where you're going and all of that. It's so powerful. There was a part right there just before that where you were flowing so beautifully. It was, the space was just like expanding. It was amazing.
And I will share, and it's
important. It's important to. I just want to make it for our listeners. There's no right or wrong.
There is absolutely no right or wrong, and that's not what I'm here to share, because there is not that.
That's
because that separates me from you, and I just want to be one.
It's like you can feel that when you shared before about being the 1 billionth piece of the puzzle. Literally, you're just offering your piece of the puzzle. And when you were sharing before about love, why it's hard for any of us sometimes to believe that everything is possible through love is because we all have such different experiences of what love means. You know, love means a lot of different things. Like some people don't associate love without sex. You know, or there's or
being locked in the toilet.
Or being locked in the toilet. Like, you know, there's so many different strings there.
And that's why with these teachings, there's like, I teach it from this place, because I remember when we talked about last time, I thought that I would be a heartist, as in a
beautiful word,
painting of the heart. But what's actually unfolded in my true purpose is that I activate your heart to remember, because it has 40,000 neurons of its own. And when I've learnt to heal other people as well, so we can all get into heaven together. It's an activation of the heart brain, not the mind brain, to help you remember. Because you've got 73 trillion cells all working faster than a nanosecond to make you vibrate as a physical body. So pulling us up from the ground into the dantian and making the body real. So you've just got no idea of your own power.
I know.
And once you step into just, even if you go from the science-based part of that, which is that, you know, exactly that. We're cells, we're made of matter, we're here, and we're a vibration. So if you join all of that together, you literally make yourself appear every nanosecond. That's how powerful you are.
And this is where I feel like this is so exciting when we were talking before about learning to be a doctor, where this is a part of the learning experience. You know, whether you're in surgery, you know, are you thinking about the game of golf yesterday, or, you know, obviously, you know, when you're so good at doing something, you can do it without really, you're in the zone, the things. But this, you know, the heart brain, the heart resonancy in the space, how activating this is, like the heart energy in the theatre. I mean, you know, in the quantum science in this space is just incredible.
Like those surgeons weren't given the gift of these hands without knowing. You know, and you listen to documentaries with them, and they'll be in a situation like you're saying, and they're like at golf and they're stitching up, and then they'll go, something comes over them, and they're like, no, this is not right, and they'll say, like, and then that person's life is saved because they've used their own tuition, but they just don't even realise it because of their essence. And that's what we're talking about here, is this resonance of you and your all-encompassing knowing, because you're the fallacy that we're in is that we think that the body has its own mind, but we only have the mind, and every cell in the body has a mind. And every thought that we think, if we're coming back to the vibration, is, say, for example, you've got 810,000 neurons in your brain working every millisecond to recreate yourself. So if I have a thought now, if you just play with it, it's just like, well, when I get home today, it's just going to be so awful. It's raining, and my kid's been with my mum, and I just don't know what mood he's going to be in and what he's eaten. Imagine where that's going to take me. So now, what did that take me? About 15 seconds. So that's already 15 trillion cells that I've just told that to. So now if we just undo that. And then we can go to, oh, how amazing is it? My mum has my little boy, and it'll be so beautiful to go back, and I can't wait to find out what treat they had when they went to the cafe or where they went on their adventure. Now that has just reframed my brain from fear of my mum having my kid, which would be triggered by that, my mum's scary, to, oh my God, my mum's amazing and she's just come to all this love. And I'm not scared anymore, because I was also scared that she would hurt my kids. And so therefore their relationship with her has been tarnished because I've been so afraid of letting them be with her.
Yeah.
So it was all, because it all comes back to you.
Yeah.
It's all you, once you stop blaming yourself, which is, I could have put my hand up with Jelly Roll as being the number one. You did it. It's not me. It's outside. You did that to me. You made me feel that way. Once I stopped all of that and came back to me, the power returns within, and it's just been absolutely incredible. And some of the ladies who I spoke about on the last podcast, they did help me get to that place, but I had not got to that place. I was still blaming.
Sometimes it's the confidence, because I do recall you speaking about some of those ladies, and I got a definite impression of you observing with a fascination, like their confidence in themselves and their behaviors and their bodies and their choices, and and it's almost like a little girl stepping out into the big world and be greeted with this stage of play, and and
it was just beautiful, and every single one of them helped me get to where I am, and I'm so grateful because I would not have got here without them. So, and knowing what I was going back to with the frequency and those two stories is now I've shaped myself to be in love and peace and joy with that second story, and that's all my brain will see and all it will believe. But if I want to go into those other thoughts, I can do that too. So that's your own power. You just don't realize it's so amazing.
Just hearing that little example you gave then of the changing the thought patterns. A lot of those ways of being come through family lineage too. It's like it's so interesting when you're around family and you see
that's
the
who
common
you're made
threads.
Up of, that's who you're made up of.
Of course,
you're
of
just
course.
Them, basically.
And how many times we see posts on Instagram saying, it's up to you to change the course, of patterns and beliefs in your family lineage.
I think you put up one yesterday.
Yeah. It's so interesting how powerful that can be. It's interesting, the synchronicities, how fast they're happening now too. So yesterday I only did a post around exactly what we're talking about, how powerful the cells are in our bodies. Our thought have such an impact on our cells in our body.
They do, because they're just listening to you.
They're listening to everything.
All words, that's why it's called spelling, because they're spells.
Yes, of course.
So you speaking to yourself internally or externally, the kinder you are, and that's what I was going to say, is like celebrating you for how far that you've come in your journey, because the only reason that you've come that far is because you chose to physically perceive a different way. Because what happens is when you do this work of changing your brain, you only see heaven on earth through your eyes. You don't see, like I don't see people go, oh, it's so bad, this happened and this, I don't actually see that. Like I just see, well, it must all be perfect somehow.
It's absolutely.
I don't know why that $8 million house burnt down. But it could be because the people got out and they didn't need all those things and they still want to learn the hard way. Or they've got $64 billion and an $8 million house didn't matter. Or why did that beautiful person who seems to be homeless in the corner there and cold, I just see that as perfect. Well, that's a journey. And they're on it, and it's okay, and they'll be fine. And I don't know that they chose that way, because I've got some friends who choose that way. Because it feels like freedom to them.
And they're experiencing
once
life
we're making no judgments and no decisions, we're free. And I had held myself in so many judgments. Like, I reckon I'm here to heal that for the world. It's just so many judgments. And all judgments do is keep you safe. But what I've noticed is I ended up at a rave party a couple of weeks ago, and it was called the Love Leaked Lab.
Oh, cool. Love it.
And it was just all DJs putting together beats based in the love frequency.
Oh, wow.
But everyone was there in their own essence. And I reckon if I was in judgment, you would have picked me as the straight white girl. If you put me in a line, you'd be like, what's she doing here?
But I got a little bit funny even like thinking about being there.
But it was so fun. It was so fun and so freeing. And like just to see all of this other world that I once would have judged and I once would have kept myself separate from. But instead I just went there in joy and love. And I had the best time.
I just keep getting in my mind.
Again, that frequency, the resonancy of that music, how that... the body, it's like a retunement, isn't it, of the body, and the cells are just going, it's like having a little house spring clean.
Because nothing becomes wrong to you, if that makes sense. Like you could just, you could put me in a deep, dark dungeon in a porn house right now.
And you'd find something that was...
oh, that's peaceful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or you could put me in an aeroplane that was full of screaming babies and nanas walking up and down and people vomiting, and we're like, oh, well, that's peaceful.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm trying to explain the extreme kind of scenarios.
Yeah.
But
when we first sat down, I don't know why, but I had yelling in my head, allowance.
Allowance.
That's it. And I'm like...
We haven't even said that word,
We haven't even said that word, but it's literally been yelling in my head the whole time.
Yeah, that's exactly what
That's exactly what it is. And I feel like
to be.
That's the linchpin, isn't it? It's just allowance of yourself, of others, of anything, any situation going on around you. You just have to allow it all to play out because it's all perfectly...
It's perfectly perfect.
Yeah.
Well, also staying in your own centre, your own peace, and allowing your cells to be in resonance with that peace. Yeah. Then that creates like a little frequency and a resonance, and then there's a shift happens around you, and a shift there, and a shift there, and before you know it, the babies on the plane have all gone to sleep, and and
the nanas have sat down because they're not anxious.
Yes.
And everyone stops vomiting because they're not scared anymore.
Yeah.
You just don't know what your own power is, but can you imagine if we were all doing that together?
But I'm thinking of the other side of that too, where that's, I don't want to say reality, but it kind of is reality.
It is. It's real reality.
Real reality is we get on and we're like, oh, Jesus,
Hope I'm not sitting next to that kid.
Yeah, and then it just amps everything
Judgment,
up. And then we wonder why.
Yeah, we wonder
things
why
are
it went
getting worse
like that.
around us, or things are going bad or horrible. It's like,
no, I did that.
Listen.
So in that space, like, have you noticed that, now that, not now that, but working with this peace as your core and in the love and the joy and your inner truth, how is that affecting like your son and your people around you?
It is phenomenal. Like, I think the most effect that it's had is my brother. So suicide warning here. So he's been trying to kill himself since he was 20 and he's 42.
Wow.
And my mum also did this.
Someone doesn't want him to leave.
And my mum's also done A Course in Freedom.
Amazing.
So what she forgot was that A Course in Freedom helped you get free.
Yeah.
But she didn't realise that she was trapped to my brother.
Wow.
So she was trying to get free of him. And so his ego was getting more like he should die. And he was living with her under her house. And some days he'd come upstairs and say, Mum, and say, how are you? And he goes, I've been downstairs trying to pass over with a plastic bag and a belt. And nothing got her. In the end, nothing affected her. She wasn't worried about it. And he stopped doing it.
Wow.
Yep, he stopped doing it. And he's came upstairs one day. He'd been downstairs for 5 days, and my mum only lives 12 houses from me. So I just went around to see her one afternoon, and I said, oh, how's my brother today? And she goes, oh, he's great. And he comes upstairs and he sits in the kitchen. He goes, that was just the dumbest things I've been doing. I'm just never going to... I'm so sorry, guys, but it's all done now. We won't ever have to worry about that again.
Oh, my God. That's so beautiful.
But
that's
just
the
that
power
attachment.
Of the hooks,
the hooks of mum and him and me and all of us and all of this self-concept stuff that kept him stuck in that and himself stuck in that. But once you all take your power back to you and you only know you and you only know love.
This is so interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so amazing. And he's also been so mean to himself because he has a lot of body hair and he didn't take care of his teeth, so he doesn't have very many. And my dad's family have quite a lot of obesity, and so he was a larger person, and so he's always had a lot of self-loathing. And now he's just remembered people could love me for who I am. And he's found a girlfriend. And he messaged me the other day, and I just cried. She loves me for who I am.
That's beautiful.
He calls me Lisa. Loves me for who I am. And it was just like, I'm just shaking.
My heart's trembling.
I'm just thinking of how much we do the opposite. We think we have to watch and be on their case and control and make sure this and make sure that and all, and it's complete opposite.
And I've got a highly autistic son who I birthed as a son, who, while I've been doing this course, decided to come out and tell me that she'd like to be trans and change genders. And I think if I had not been doing the course, I wouldn't have been able to accept, and I was able to allow and accept this just perfectly as it was. And she was also trapped in the suicide situation because she just couldn't get free.
Yeah.
So we've done all the tests, and she's got the XXY chromosome, so she's got the female brain, the male body. So that's why she was always so confused.
Yeah.
And just the peace that she's come to, like knowing that it's okay that I'm like this. I don't, there's still days where her ego will come in and just be like, well, where's the plan? And like,
when do I have surgery?
Don't tell me that.
All the things.
But it's just unfolded because of her high spectrum autism.
Yep.
We've been able to get onto the NDIS. We got more funding than we've ever. Usually people get on a plan.
Yes.
Like the abundance.
The support.
And then she's about to learn to drive, and through that we got free driving lessons, so that relieved me of like just all these abundance,
freeing you up,
like
freeing everybody up,
and time, like just all that time that I would have to run her around places and do all the things and take her to appointments and all the stuff. You don't have to do that because all of a sudden this other way comes in that you would never have thought of.
And also her independence of relating to the world through her own actions and things like that, and maturing processes and things as well, which is it's a gift in so many ways, isn't it?
And because of that fear that I had placed in my mum, I had then feared having my own children, but didn't realise because it was unconscious. And so I had a healing with Scott because I'd got myself really stuck about 3 months ago, and I was just like, what is this? Like, this is not nice, whatever this is. And I had never loved her. I had never allowed her love. And then the next day we were in a group meditation, and I just felt it all hit me from the back. Like she came in upstairs to see me, and Mum, and I heard the voice, and it was just bang. Because that's what you also learn, is that every piece of love that you've ever been given that you've rejected, once you open your field, it will all come in, because giving and receiving are the same thing. So anytime that someone said, oh gee, you look beautiful in that dress, but you're carrying the frequency of, do I?
Yes.
But once you've cleared that and gone, I do. All of those times that those people said you look beautiful in that dress, just the love crumbs rushing in, and that's why it feels like sometimes I'm driving along and I can feel it all coming in, and I'm like, I know the universe wouldn't give me anything that's going to make me unstable, but this is a lot of love. This is a lot of love. Okay, slow down here. Pull over. I'm the lady that's been in fear since she was 3. Hang on a second. I think I'm going to fly. This is so good. So
I feel like this is a little pause moment there, because that's a lot to absorb. Like that really is a very big piece to digest and to take in, because no matter how confident you are, I think everybody will resonate with not being able to accept a compliment and let it sink in, or not see themselves through somebody else's eyes in a loving way.
And the only reason that you would ever say that to someone is because what you're looking at is you. So if you walk up to someone and go, you just look so beautiful today, that's because it's you. You've seen you.
Yes, of course.
But if you can't walk up to somebody and say that, then you can't see that in you. It's so amazing.
It's so amazing. And it's funny because Amanda's going to laugh at me when I say this. I've been running to NDEs lately, right? These near-death experiences.
Heard you say that on Scott's podcast.
Lately?
Like a couple of years.
I just love listening to them. I've got a real fascination with listening to, and they're all very similar.
I have a secret
crush.
Crush. Thinking why, and I think it's because of exactly this.
I'm about to say that. So the
that's
thing
exactly
that I've been
what
learning,
it is. You're fascinated with the amount of love that's possible.
Yes, and the life review, right? You sit and you do this life review, and it's all about the love. That's coming through
that
other
you forgot
people,
to accept.
but also the love you've given out, and how that's affected people. And this is a lot of people say when they sit in their life review, it's so overwhelming to see the effects that not only that they've had on people through love, but how much when they've rejected love from others, the effect it's had on those people, and they get to feel it. They don't get to see it. They get to feel it.
You forget that you've got to go and feel all the pain that you didn't do.
Feel all of the pain, all of the, and they say
you're not here to
it's
cause anyone
overwhelming.
any pain.
That's
the thing.
And you're taking back all of that love, that energy, and it's like just what you're saying is exactly like that. You know, it's so beautiful. It's like the effects that we have on others. You know, in the negative too, as well. But
we don't have to have that.
No, and the more that we can like just tell people, you know, I see you, you're beautiful, I love you, I love what you're doing, and even what we're talking about this morning, the acknowledgement, acknowledging people, you know, not sitting back and going, I won't say that, it sounds silly. Just say it.
I know.
Yeah.
I saw this beautiful lady yesterday. She was so good. She took her children to swimming lessons. She had this beautiful cashmere skirt on and these lovely joggers and this big, beautiful hair that she'd done. I was just like, you just look so beautiful today. And she just cried.
Oh.
Yeah,
and
that's
another
the
lady
power.
messaged me last night about taking up some jeans because she's really short. She goes, sometimes I'm just so sick of being short. And I'm like, but you wouldn't be Deb. The essence of you is Deb. And she is. Like, if she was bigger, you would not. She just would taller. You just wouldn't. She wouldn't be her.
Yeah.
You know? And she's like, oh my God, I'm nearly 70. No one's ever said that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's just this.
Yeah.
Something comes over you as well when you only see love and somebody says that to you. You don't see that in that way. Like, because you don't believe in duality anymore, and all the lower level feelings aren't real. Like, you've made them not real. So, because as much as that will make some people very uncomfortable, especially in this healing world that we're in, where healers believe that you've got to feel it all, and like you've said, you don't, because what you do is make the pathway in the brain more stable and resistant to wanting the lower level things, but you actually don't want that. You only want the love, the peace, the joy, the abundance, and the freedom, because they're a consistent state of being.
Yes.
They just hold their frequency, and you're the one believing, because you're so powerful that you make all of that so real.
Yes.
And that's, you know, jarring for some people, especially I've found anyone that's been doing a course in freedom who was already quite a holistic healer has found that part, because it's in your self-concept. It's like, well, how am I going to make money? How am I going to teach what I've just spent 20 years learning if I don't take anybody on both parts? It's like, but how? What about if you just, because I can now interpret through different sense perceptions.
I was just about to say that, so that area must open up too. Hey,
So it's the high sense perception, the HSP, and it, I could, if you were in a situation where you had a modality that was making you money, you could please ring me if you're afraid of that, or email me, and I have had the download of how every single healing modality tweaks itself to only know the high frequencies.
Oh wow.
And that's very, very simple. And you will have, if you're charging $180 now, for example, for a healing, and you're working with the duality, if you become a healed healer and then only teach and heal from the power of love and peace and joy, you could charge $380. Because that person is not going to need to come back to you very often.
No.
Because they are just at this place.
Absolutely.
You're working with Christ's vision.
Yes.
Like, we've got not Christ from the Bible, Christ as
Christ.
in Christ,
Yes.
the
Holy Spirit.
all-encompassing knowing of Holy Spirit. And that's when you just do not see anyone else other than their true self. That's what you're perceiving, because you're teaching your brain that that's the only thing. And so I could say, in the year that since I came, I have a new brain. I have completely rewired my entire brain. And now when so what happens is, once you filter out all what you perceive as normal, so you know, like when I was living in Brisbane, I would have said that was rushing, perfectionism, judgment, you know, being hard on myself, hitting myself over the head with a stick, anxiety, fluctuating into depression, only seeking validation outside myself for everything, especially like making my physical body so real that I was not worthy to anyone or anything unless men were making me physically accommodated in the world. You know, I could go on, but that was my normal. So I had made my field normal, and that felt stressful, but I didn't realise how much stress that was putting on my body.
And you could say dense, and a lot of us are in that denseness,
that density, and that's not our fault. That's just where we're at, and that's how we've thought we're going to learn from the brain that we've made, from the thoughts that we've had up until this point. So now it's just like, when all that sheds and you come to this piece, if one thing comes in that you really need to learn, you just go, like you just get thrown off. It's like being on this giant crystal and you just get thrown off it, because there's this one thing that's just distorted this beautiful frequency. But you get the message really quick, and it's not in pain, and you can heal it really quick, because it's only just this one thing that's like I was saying before I came in today, like I was like, it's feeling a bit funny about going in today, and I was still going to speak from my self-concept that wanted to prove not my perfect self that's here right now that has nothing to prove because she's perfect.
Yeah.
And of love. And because before, when you're sharing, if you don't mind, about your beautiful daughter, there's that you get that sense that people would kind of go into judgment straight away and actually start to question a lot of things.
Oh yeah, the questions that have been thrown at me.
And yet it is quite simple, really, isn't it? The whole essence of it all is very simple.
It's her journey, isn't it? It's not your journey.
No, I'm not in judgment.
No,
and the judgment is the big word.
And I'm not worried about the judgment of anyone else.
Yes.
And so anyone's questions that come to me are just seen as a question. With no influence from the past and no influence from the future. And then I just answer the question. So it's just
and that's
so
the,
simple.
the stepping out of what you were sharing about yourself, the old you, all those things, all that density. Like
it's all the defenses that go with that.
And it's the same thing, like to not have your daughter having to be in that space either, to be able to step out of, like, and this is where, like, you know, if we bring it into, you know, I guess what we could call the 3D stuff, like with the duality and the generational trauma and the thises and the that's, there's all these words and descriptions and things, but if we expand out of that into what you're sharing with us today in such a freeing energy and peaceful energy, it is so much more simple, and the processes of change and shifting and learning and moving from here to here without the duality or the density dragging along become so much more simple, don't they? Like that's what I'm getting a sense of, a lightness of being and a easier step forward and without the dragging the things forward with you. It's like, okay, well, that's not fitting anymore. Why? And step forward, and it's the new step kind of thing. That full, because for me, like that living in the now has just been and being very present has been overwhelming to kind of embrace in every way. And there's so many ways that I'm seeing, okay, well, I'm not doing that, or I am doing that, or this or that. And it's really slotting into what you're talking about today is, you know, the freedom with being in the love, the peace, the joy, the abundance.
The true abundance.
The true abundance is so freeing, and so being in the now.
And I can remember that when I met my partner now, Gav, he showed me the way, basically. He gave me the Eckhart Tolle book, The Presence of Now.
I thought, when you said the way, I was thinking,
that great book.
And I was like, what the actual? Like what? How could anyone do that with my brain? Like, whatever. I'll read it, I'll keep going. And then I got fascinated with it. Like, how do you find this? And so therefore I've given my brain something to latch onto, because the brain loves that. So that's what it's gone seeking. So it's remembered from the book and gone seeking. And then I've ended up in this point where I've got to present moment awareness, because I have, exactly like Mandy you explained, so the field becomes so dense with defenses. So it's the only way. I just laugh because it's a bit like, imagine like back in the olden days sitting on your horse ready to go into battle, but you don't have one sword, you've got 500,000 swords around you, because that's the amount of thoughts that you've got to protect you, because you just don't even realize how many thoughts are involved in, am I going to look good in that dress?
Oh my goodness.
And even yesterday, this is the most bizarre judgment I still have of myself, and you're just going to have to laugh along with me. But you know when you wear period undies?
Yes.
And
well,
thicker.
no, I don't anymore.
No, they're not, but you've seen them. Yep. And they're thicker. And there's more seams. And they're tighter. Well, I have specific pants that you wear with them, because what if somebody could tell that you were wearing period
undies?
And nobody would even know.
I know, but that's the ridiculousness of judgment. No, I know. I still had the thought.
But hello, activewear. I mean, you know,
it's
crazy.
It was so, but that's how ridiculous you are to yourself. There's still these tiny little aspects still in there, you know, like that you still.
We get carried out with we get carried away with the details that really have no.
You know, and that would have taken, I don't know, a lot of physical effort to try and defend. What pants am I going to wear? What am I going to wear with that? Where am I going? Who's going to see? And then the whole time I'm out, I'm like, got these pants, someone might see. Like, it's a lot. But if you put those thoughts into every thought you're having, That's why you're so tired.
Yes.
Well, you're so tired because you've been out all day on this like knight in shining armor defense marathon.
Yes. No wonder people are exhausted when they come home. It's like it's not that. Yeah, they're exhausted from their brain, their body. It's like everything.
So once you let go,
wielding each and every one of those swords every day, every different.
And that's what I was saying about the rainforest. Like when you take the swords down, when you take the bricks down, and the field becomes a rainforest, it's just this living, breathing thing.
That's so beautiful.
That you don't need to be scared of. Nothing. There's no fear in the world. There's no safety that's needed. Anything like that. You know, my little boy, like my other little boy, he's 4, and when you were speaking before about how is it affected?
Yes.
So he was only 3, just turned 3, when I started doing this work of learning that there's no duality and that I don't need to teach him any lower level feelings. So I've taught him. And before that, for the first 2 years of his life, I was in that belief set of, you know, and there is absolutely no judgment on anyone that does this. I just choose not to do that now.
Yeah.
And there's no wrong, because we're all on the path, and no, I'm not here to cause anyone any pain. So I was in that, we'll just let them sit in all their feelings and get them to know the lower level feelings and let them move through it and all of that stuff. But what that does in a science perspective is teaches their brain that that's real. Then it makes a pathway of suffering that they feel like, well, if I fall over and hurt myself, then I actually feel that pain and I'm going to suffer. And then if you say, well, oh, darling, sit here and we'll feel it all out, and how much blood have you got, and you know, and check on it every minute, all you're doing is adding worry and fear and pain and suffering into their field about this thing. And so every time that happens, that's why it gets bigger, and then you don't realise that that actually can become a way that they find love from you in these lower level feelings. And anger, like I was teaching him that it was okay to like not throw things at people, but if he wanted to just go and throw things to get his anger out. But what I'm doing is teaching him that anger is a real thing. But in the duality, when we come to oneness, it's not a real thing. There is only love and peace. And so I just say to him, well, buddy, you can choose for something else, because there's only truth, which holds all of love and peace and joy. There's only truth or something else. So you can choose for something else if you want, honey. Otherwise you can choose for this. And so he's been a great teacher for his friends as well, because he'll just fall over and go, oh, just choose for something else. And I've just taught him to feel. So we've got little pictures or stories about all the things that he loves. So I just take him, you know, he was only 3, but I taught him what love was, because one of my friends said, well, how does a kid know what love is? I'm like, well, you teach them.
Or you just help
help them around what that might be, like having fun and being joyful and stuff. And so he literally just corrects himself. So, and I've taught him to be limitless and a limitless, powerful healer. So because that's another aspect of becoming free. You are limitless. There is nothing that you can't do. You, in your essence, you could do anything that you dreamed of, and you know you can do it. There's no like little. That's when people will say, well, what about fear? It's like, well, we don't actually ever want fear, because fear and love are whole states. We only want love. We don't want any fear at all. So when people say you have to go and face the fear, which is a lot of the teachings that I had embraced in some business courses that I'd done, you don't have to do that either. It's so wonderful, because I was like, that can't be real.
That creates a lot of anxiety.
So hard. Like, why would I want to do that? And so when you come to this peace, the universe, once you connect in and start hearing all the instructions that you have to do, it does feel a bit like, you really want me to say that? Like, come on here and talk about duality? I'm like, are you absolutely sure? Like, people who are in this healing space will really believe in that, are like locked in, and you're going to go on this, okay, I'll do that. But I didn't feel afraid. Whereas if you'd asked me to do that a year ago, I would have spent 6 months trying to stop being afraid of what people are going to think of me, and how am I going to be in judgment? Is everyone going to like me? Will anyone actually ever like me again if I say that kind of thing? But it's just like, the world has evolved into a new healing paradigm is probably the best way of explaining. But and also we're all going a lot faster than we used to. And I can absolutely put my hand on my heart and have an absolute knowing that every single modality that people have invested in and put all of their money in, and everything that now holds 2 separate things, there is a way for that to be one. So for example, with human design, I went back and I read my chart, and all I did was just leave out all the illusion, and you should see what it says. When you don't read your human design chart with any of the not self, it is so powerful, because all you see is that. And I went back through my astrology reading as well, and I retracted, like on the American movies where you go through and retract all the bits that aren't supposed to be there.
Okay.
I went and retracted all the illusion
from
it, so all the bits that are the lower level frequency stuff, and just read it as my true self.
Of course, yes.
Because those things stick. Like people say, you've got something missing there, or there's no planets in this sign, or blah blah over here, in this
and they
house.
make it mean something.
So you haven't got what it takes to do this, or whatever. And those things stick in the frequency,
and especially because you've got 7 times more power in your ego brain, because the ego made the body to think of a negative thing. You've got to teach yourself that the love is real and everything is perfect, because it takes more understanding of the unknown to believe that. So when you actually come to this beautiful place, my friends all say, you're mad, like this place that you believe about's not real. I'm like, well, there's lots more of us believing it's real now, so it's gonna be okay.
Or just feel into it, feel into what Melissa's saying, and if it feels good, then it's has to be some truth to it. The other thing I wanted to say too, just with our listeners in mind, is that if anything, this is what for me personally too, that I've been learning a lot about too. If anything comes up and you're in judgment of, check in. Be curious. Get curious about it, because what a great opportunity to learn something about yourself. And where it's holding you somewhere. If you're in judgment of anything, that just means, all that means
you're not free.
And it's holding you somewhere. So be curious about that. I think that's really
and like I said, I've been given instructions of what to share, and I'm just sharing because
I've loved every second.
Beautiful gift is to activate you into your remembering. And another teaching is that every single soul is here with your beautiful essence on the planet to help the world rise.
Absolutely.
And if you weren't here, the earth wouldn't be whole.
That's
so
beautiful.
If you don't go out practicing who you truly are in your heart, and you're feeling like this calling of, I know that this thing that I'm doing, I'd love to do that, but this other thing brings me money,
you're doing an injustice to the world.
In the fact that, if I just sit around just being that old self-concept, I won't help enough people. And I don't know how many people I'm here to help wake up, but it feels nice. It feels nice because I was asleep, and I was really asleep. I was, put my hand up as, I was Miss Dense in the capacity of control. And when I had to learn the teaching of you are perfect, it took me a while to get out of the you are perfection.
The judgment of what that means.
Because I attached it to being perfect imperfection, and because I had tried for 43 years to be perfect in the sense of being a perfectionist and being in perfectionism, it took me a few weeks to get around myself and how does this look if it's not attached to that, and it's just so.
And when you say the density,
beautiful.
You're like comparing that to that, again, is not a comparison to anything or anyone else, it's a comparison to yourself and to how you're feeling now. The two, what you've left behind or dissolved is probably a good word, or in who you are.
Totally. Everything's about dissolving, so it's just you allow whatever is to be, and then the process to heal truly is so simple, because all you do is teach your mind to look, limitlessly look for anything that is untoward. And then you'll just be walking along, and all of a sudden you'll get this like awareness of what that would be, because you've asked your brain, because if you give your brain a command, it'll do it, to go looking for all of the things that are attached to this one example that you might need to heal. And then because you're not in judgment, you're not making anything mean anything, and you're not attaching the knowing of anything you've learnt in the self-concept to what you've just unfolded in your brain. However perceivedly bad that might feel that comes up, like something that you need to clear so that you don't have to sit when you do your soul passing to know that you have to feel this pain. Imagine. So then it just lets go. It just actually dissolves instantly.
I can feel that,
and you do nothing. And that's the most amazing thing that come to realization is, in true healing, you do nothing, because you actually don't realize how much you're already doing, but like in that discomfort phase, because you're making all of that discomfort yourself. You're making all of those judgments. You're making all of that, and it's not your fault. It's just your subconscious programs running. But once they're corrected, you just go to these elevated levels, and they're so amazing. But the amazing thing is, you also have to if you really would like to be enlightened in this lifetime, which I would love to be, that is just, I am not coming back here. Okay?
Yeah.
Unless you're going to give me 10 kids on the next go around with a pain-free birth,
yes,
we're going there.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm not coming back here. It's been a wonderful ride. Thank you, everyone. But I'd like to, get to my highest state of attainment.
Yeah.
And you cannot believe in duality if that's what you want, because there is only oneness. And then all of the lower level emotions are an illusion. And it sounds really far-fetched, but if you've read any of the work of Wayne Dyer or Eckhart Tolle or any of that, or the Bible, you know that it's their paradox.
Oh my goodness.
And so it's just so perfect.
I think
it is so perfect.
It's so perfect. It's so beautiful, and I'm just so, like, I think it's incredible that you're actually just so brave to do that, and because it's not easy.
Well, it doesn't seem easy until you come out the other side, where I probably am this week, and you go, oh, well, I just did all that and dissolved nothing. Because it's nothing. Because you made it all up and it's nothing.
Yeah.
And that's a very, what's the word, leveling thought, isn't it? Like it's, it is all an illusion. This is all an illusion, and it's all this work and it's all an illusion,
And it sounds so like, it's a lot to take in if you've never heard that, but I know that your listeners have.
Absolutely.
And a lot of your beautiful ladies are at that point now where they're explaining that, and I've noticed with a lot of your guests that everyone's coming to this essence of God, and that's what we need. Is the oneness of God to be free, and we can't get into heaven alone, so the more of us that join in this beautiful oneness.
And why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we want to, if it's about peace and if it's about love and I'm with you 100%. Now we are getting close to the end. I know, Amanda, you've got one last question. I was going to ask one last question. You'll probably ask,
and I've got one more story.
Well,
that might be it.
This isn't my last question, but this is what just came up from. I was watching a program about it was all different cultural people, different ethnicities, and it was a little comedy sketch, and they're all offering comedy through spirituality and religion and cultural stigmas, and it was really kind of funny it was very funny to just hear everybody sharing their little comedy skit, but what they were kind of bringing to light was, what you've been sharing today is the containers that we sit in ourselves, and the containers that we sit everybody else in, the judgments that shape so much, and when you bring humor in and you break it down, it's just like, why? Why?
Bring joy to it and it all dissolves.
And when you talk about God and heaven on earth, a lot of people can want to go to, that's religion talk, but as one of the comedians was pointing out, is like, spirituality is the essence of every religion. That a religion is on top of, and it's only the words, and our associations with the words, and
because we've made it mean something.
We've made it mean something, and and if you just sit with the resonance of heaven on earth and God, and you breathe into that, and you bring love in there,
that's all you've got.
Things start to shift a little bit. If you allow it, your cells start to just let you know that, hey, there's magic in that spelling. Anyway, so
it's so beautiful.
I was just going to ask, did you have anything else you wanted to share? So it's so perfect that you're going to.
There's two things. So go for it. If you've ever considered wanting to be eternal, which is enlightened, the best thing is you're never going to get old. So it's the best Botox you've ever had.
Yes.
Because look at this.
Yes, stunning.
I'm
beautiful.
Like 10 years younger.
I literally wanted to say that like 5 times.
That
you do
lighter,
feel and look lighter, younger.
So once the resonance of your body comes in harmony with love and peace and joy and freedom as eternal, the body is the external belief for other people that it's real and possible, because the more healed you are, each cell resonates at this high frequency of the stem cell of the God molecule. So you basically no pain, no distortion, because every stem cell that makes itself just makes itself brand new, and you're the only one that's distorting it all with all of the decisions and the judgments, and the decisions are also those precognitive decisions which are seen in old person, so therefore you make a decision that you can be old, so you undo that as well. There's you just would have no idea how many rolling decisions you've got going as well.
And I'm
so
just
therefore
thinking
you
of
become
disease and dis-ease and so many things.
And so you dissolve all programs about being sick and germs and anything, and you don't get sick anymore. So you just don't get sick. You don't even, it doesn't even exist because it's in duality, so it's not real.
Yeah.
The other part was I healed my eye. So that's how I ended up doing it. So I was nearly blind in my right eye.
Yeah.
And I had a huge pterygium on it. And in 1 year, I've healed myself to the point where I could, if I put on like actual magnifying readers now, I could read.
Wow.
Fabulous.
And I was basically blind. So I've gone from being blind to being able to see.
Yeah.
And if you put it into the, you know, the alignment of what this work is, well, I was blind to who I was.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to see her. I didn't want to see her in her light. So I was blinding my physical self to her. And now that I'm awakened and can see who I am and who I could be, I can see. Yeah.
Oh.
And pterygiums are built from the ego, and the path forward to remove it, the statement is the truth will set you free.
No way.
Yep. So,
that's a beautiful way to end.
Yep.
A little piece of magic.
Yep.
Yeah.
The truth will set you free.
Well,
I just thank you so much.
Yeah,
Melissa.
I want to just add, because like I was listening to something recently about what you shared about stem cells.
Yeah.
Is that they stand on, what's the word when you're, you know, they're waiting.
Yeah.
And you know
they're waiting for a command.
Waiting for a command, and they will become an ear or, you know, spinal tissue or a muscle or whatever it is that the body or the being is, the, you know,
what you've told it.
What you've told it needs to morph into. And what you were just sharing then, how powerful it is with our instructions and those processes of calling into action our incredible beings.
Yeah.
And what the truth will set you free if we are in alignment with that.
Yeah, and
the eternalness is very possible. It is not
it's not unattainable.
Yeah,
and it's actually really easy. What's hard is getting around yourself.
Yes,
because you've made your self concept so. Like you could write 6 books on your self-concept.
Yeah.
Well, you did say you didn't want to come back, so it's going to make you stay here for as long as it can.
Yeah, exactly. And I was contemplating that the other week, thinking I shouldn't say that out loud. It's not like, but it's not that for me. It's just that I actually really struggled being here on Earth. Like I've wanted to
and
not
now
be
you're
here.
Loving it.
I've stood out, and I think I shared that with you on the last podcast. I've stood out in my garden a lot of times, going, "Why did you send me here?
Yeah.
This makes no sense." And now that I understand that there is only love and that's all that there is, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy to stay here. I'm happy to do all the things that I wanted to do. I just couldn't believe that we had to do all those other things.
Yeah.
And how much
why did everything have to be hard?
Yeah, I was going to say how much more fun life becomes.
So fun. Yeah, so fun. And all the, you know, that whole speech where people say, is it true that when you come into this harmony that more money comes? It does.
Yeah.
And in ways you would never have ever thought. You could never even think it up. And it's just love that does that.
Yeah.
Because it's part of true abundance, which is the only thing.
Well, that comes back to Amanda and my little affirmation each morning. Show me how good it can get.
Yep. It's this or something better.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Melissa. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
I could talk forever.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, gorgeous.
I talk to a spirit.
Wow, that was...
She comes in my dreams.
Thank you for listening to our Girl Awakening podcast. We are also on YouTube as Girl Awakening. We'd love to see you there with comments on how our guests resonated with you or your own awakening. Please share the love with a like and subscribe while you're there. A blissful thank you to Ksenia Luki, the amazing artist behind our theme song. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.